Peru presidential elections are heading for a runoff with the daughter of jailed former president in the lead. CCTV's Dan Collins joins us from Lima. Dan, give us the update. What exactly are the results?
Hello, Asia. Well, with more than 80% of votes counted, Keiko Fujimori has maintained her lead of nearly 40%, but she will be joined by Pedro Pablo Kuczynski in the second round. He's a 77-year-old former prime minister and economy minister in Peru. He's considered to be the investors' favorite. He's actually a former banker, and he has more than around 22% of the vote. And so, as we understand it, Lima's stock exchange has risen by 10 points on hearing this news. Both candidates are considered to be pro-business candidates, and they won't meddle with Peru's free market economy. We might have seen the reverse effect on Lima's stock exchange had the candidate who's polling third, Veronica Mendoza, with around 18% of the vote, a leftist congresswoman, had she gone through to the second round, that would have worried investors. She was proposing radical changes, and some Peruvians were certainly worried that she might nationalize state industries and change the economic model, which a lot of Peruvians consider has raised prosperity in the country.
Dan, let me go back to Keiko Fujimori. Clearly a decisive win in the first round, but many see her as a polarizing figure.
Keiko Fujimori is a uniquely polarizing figure in Peru, and last night, on hearing that she'd won the first round, she made a speech in which she called for reconciliation. I think that was a pointed reference to who she is. She's the daughter of Alberto Fujimori, who was a president in Peru in the 1990s. He's now serving a lengthy prison sentence for corruption and human rights abuses. And she has tried to distance herself in some ways from her father. She's tried to distance herself from what she calls his mistakes. She says that his government was attacked by corruption, and she seems to be putting forward a slightly more softer and gentler version of the Fujimori dynasty, if you like. At the same time, she's capitalizing on the solid 20% of Peruvians who love her father. They credit him with restoring the economy in the 1990s and putting Peru on the path to its current economic success, and defeating the Shining Path rebels and bringing peace to the country. Also, he was a president who built schools and hospitals in many remote villages, and poor people around the country remember him fondly. She's capitalized on that in her campaign. She's campaigned hard during the last 4 years, but nonetheless, polls indicate that half of Peruvians say they would never vote for her. And we saw that, a demonstration of that with protests last week when at least 30,000 Peruvians took to the streets to campaign against her candidacy, and which was on the anniversary of a coup staged by her father 24 years ago. So currently, polls indicate that Pedro Pablo Kuczynski, who's in the second round with her in June, could actually win the election against her despite her lead at the moment.
Dan Collins, live in Lima. Thank you, Dan.